So this is my Nest Thermostat. I've already opened it. I'm only showing you so you know which one you would be expecting, what box would you be expecting. I've also got the manual, some sort of wiring for myself to know what I'm doing with it. I need some tools. I need a plier, screwdriver, which can also tell me if there is a current in the wire or not. A Stanley knife, scissor, a single wire cable capable of taking 10 amp, and a twin wire cable capable of taking 12 volt DC. Now, I have already installed my Nest Thermostat on the wall, but I am going to run through with you for the wiring and also for the box, basically, which is coming with every combi boiler, which in my case is a Worcester combi boiler. What you want to do is, first of all, is to disconnect the power. Now you could go and disconnect the whole power of the house if you wish to, but I trust my cables and I trust my fuse, and what I did was I disconnected it by the switch beside the programmer and also pulled the fuse out just in case. I also have a transfer box that is coming out of the boiler and also a cable that is running through to go to my programmer. Now, I have set up my Nest box just beside my transfer box. This helps me to firstly make the cable shorter and it kind of look neat as well. Okay, that's the thermostat. As I have disconnected power, it will not be triggering now. Okay, so all you need to do is unscrew these two screws at the bottom of it, and then just tilt it and pull it off. What you see here is these are live wires. These are 240 live wires. So you do not want to be touching these wires because you will get electrocuted. And this, which I will come to, is kind of acting as the switch, which will trigger the boiler to turn on when it reaches certain temperature in the room. Okay. Is basically full of cables, which some of them come through the boiler and some are live wires. Now you need to find out which one is your live wire, which is got the one that is in constant power. Now this is my constant power, red and black. Okay, they are connected. If I just disconnect the program like so. Also, behind the programmer, it has got a guide of which one is the live wire. Okay, and which one is the common, and what is your trigger, which would be call for heat, number 4. Okay. Now you have to identify which one is your call for heat, and the way to do this is the important part. What you want to do is you want to connect the system without touching any of the wires. Okay, you want to have your screwdriver to find out what's the current, basically. Then you would go and switch on the programmer or just trigger the thermostat. As you do so, a wire will come on and it will only kick in to have a power in it when the trigger comes in. That tells you this is a call for heat wire. So in my case, it was number 4 here, which would be this black wire, which is run through the back of the programmer to this yellow wire, which this has came directly from thermostat, and the power cables for it. Now I have separated these one. These two were connected to the power, which will take 240 volt to the thermostat to power the thermostat. And that yellow cable was connected to the black cable here, which is the call for heat. Okay, and it was also connected to this point here. Right, so what you want to do is, firstly, get the power to your Nest box. It's kind of difficult for me to unscrew and hold the camera at the same time. So now with the Nest box, as you notice, I have already connected them. I will run through these one to tell you what is what cable and what you need to connect. Basically, this is a glorified switch. It's a basic thermostat which works with wireless range and your internet connectivity. So this is my transfer box. What I have done is I ran the cables through my Nest for the power. If I can just get to zoom here or focus there. So 240 volt. What I am doing is connecting blue and brown through this point, coming to my transfer box, connecting it to a terminal, to a live wire through here. Okay, that's my earth, live wire and neutral connected to the Nest box. Now for my Nest box, I also need a 240 volt live to go through my second point, which is a common, number 2. So I have made a bridge connecting my live wire to number 2. I am not using number 1. So we're dealing with number 2 and 3. Okay, so number 2 is your live wire. That is a common in this case. And that is your call for heat. That single cable. Now that cable is connected directly to this cable here, the black cable. That is coming to be connected to this yellow cable. Now the yellow cable will be connected to black cable. The black cable is running to the transfer box over here. Yeah, and then it's connected to my blue cable, which is running through to go to my call for heat. This is basically a cable that is connected at the point of thermostat. Okay, I have connected the extra terminal here. This terminal has got 3 wires attached to it. That is not the earth. This is the call for heat wire. Okay, this is going to be a power of 12 volts DC connected to these one. Okay, now this is another point that you want to make a note of or pay attention to. There is no 12 volt DC in the boiler or in the programmer. Where it is at the Nest box. The Nest box transferred 240 to 12 volts over here. If I can get to focus here again, there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a cable from the 12 volt DC, okay, and connect it to my transfer box here. Okay, and this will be running towards connecting to the thermostat. Okay, I'm going to connect these one and I will come back to you. Okay, so at this part I'm going to show you how to finish up with the Nest box. That's a receiver. That's my transformer. This is the programmer. Now these are all live wires. As you can see, I have got a light on here, so I wouldn't be touching any of these one. What I am going to show you is I have connected the power, common. If I you can just focus. And also the 12 DC. Now the 12 DC, I have took it from the Nest box. This is the power supply. Gone through the trunk over there, go all the way behind the tiles, and here behind the programmer. And the reason I've took it behind the programmer is because there already cable exists running from the programmer to the thermostat. If I remind you, these cables are yellow for the call for heat, red and blue. These one take the power to the thermostat. Now I have connected my 12 volt DC to the call for to the thermostat power cables, okay, and also have connected the call for heat at this point to the thermostat. Now what I want you to do is read 12 DC from the red and blue cable here. So if we just connect these one, okay, and there's 12 DC.
Yeah.
Okay. Now at this stage, the box, the Nest box is connected. You don't need to do anything else with this one. Okay. I'm finished with my transfer box here. Okay. And I'm also finished with the programmer, which I'm going to connect it back and pull it all together. The next stage, I'm going to install the Nest thermostat on the wall. Okay, in this part what I have done is connected the thermostat fixture and the cables of it to the wall. Okay, at this point it doesn't matter which cable would you connect to which connector, okay, as it's DC voltage. So even though that's a positive one and that's a negative one, it don't make any difference how you would connect it. I've also installed this back plate, as it does give a better effect to the stand itself. It just makes it look a bit neater. If you remember, there was a yellow cable here as well behind it there. Okay, that was a call for heat cable. It would not be necessary to connect the call for heat cable here, as everything is done wirelessly between the thermostat and the receiver box of the Nest. Okay. I'm just going to install the thermostat to its fixture now. It's already set up. What I have to do is just clip it in. Connect the power. I have left the programmer on just for the sake of having it as its place, even though it's not going to operate the central heating anymore. So this is connected here. And here we have got power in the Nest box. And if I just run back to the thermostat, there we have it. So the thermostat is connected now. It is just running through its startup. So it's going to run through its menus. And now it's ready. Okay. This is basically a simplified version of how to connect the thermostat and its receiver box. In simple language, all it does is connect the thermostat to the Nest box wirelessly. Everything else is pretty much similar to a manual thermostat, other than maybe a cable or two less used in the Nest box. Thank you for watching.